don't really listen to the feedback now. Told me that she good, she don't need Jack now. I'm real proud of the steps you took just to get to the place that you at today. I couldn't tell it to you straight, I gotta estimate. I wonder if I ought to go here with the pastor say. Now go ahead, get me out of here, I couldn't last a day. I got the city talking about me like I passed away. Automatic is a habit, you should know it's automated. I've been getting to it, I ain't noticed y'all was hating. Brand new chick, she don't know the occupation. I just wanna know that I can hold a conversation. Oof, I don't know what y'all debating. I've been waiting for you, now I'm running out of patience. Running up a check, trying to run an operation. Went broke in the check and put 100 out of savings in. I can tell now that you ain't talking about nothing. I'ma need something I can calm down from. I'm gonna pull it with the bar down one. 6 months in, I ain't once. Trying to tell me what you know about me. You don't know nothing, keep it real with me. She said she ain't trying to deal with me. Okay, cool, you can sell that seat. Ooh, and she felt intrigued. Trying to the LMPD. Go and get your self-esteem. And she trying to link up. So much we got synced up. Pulled up in the dinged up whip. This ain't Pepto-Biz, what this pink stuff is. Gonna tell me. Yeah, you heard me, you ain't felt me. I've been moving, I've been shaking, go and hit me on the celly. Try to sell me on something while I hold it compelling. Ever since I've been gone like Kelly, they been trying to tell me about this and that. I ain't chatting with you, we ain't going tit for tat. Trying to tell me how to get in the bag. We're going to get in the bag, I'm about to get in it. Automatic is a habit, you should know it's automated. I've been getting to it, I ain't noticed y'all was hating. Brand new chick, she don't know the occupation. I just wanna know that I can hold a conversation. Ooh, I don't know what y'all debating. I've been waiting for you, now I'm running out of patience. Running up a check, trying to run an operation. Went broke in the check and put 100 out of savings in. I can tell now that you ain't talking about nothing. I'ma need something I can calm down from. I'm gonna pull it with the bar down one. 6 months in, I ain't once. Trying to tell me what you know about me. You don't know nothing, keep it real with me. She said she ain't trying to deal with me. Okay, cool, you can sell that seat.
This is second nature, all is automatic. Instinct, you fools hurt. Jesus well.
game over, time's up. Play my cards, dealt my hand, ain't really no time for luck. Either you got it, you don't. Lie to yourself if you won't. I put my team on my back, did what I could, what I had. Now I'll be all in my bag, copy and paste with the swag. Bet you can't do it like me. All my winners on repeat. Take your L like a boss, stand 10 toes on your feet. I can never take a loss, I ain't set up for defeat. 4 Giottos on the truck, I had a dream and it stuck. Living my life cause we up, looking back like where the love. So I be hella low key, but contrary to belief, loyalty runs deep. I keep my ear to the streets. Struggle turned me to a beast. I'm off the chain, I'm off the leash. But baby girl, I play for keeps. Told my brother lately, I've been scheming against all odds like Willie Beeman. I've been grinding lately, this my season. Lord knows I'm trying to find my reason. Lay it out on the line, ain't no looking back. Giving my all with no strings attached. Can't roll no bottom, roll through the cracks. Spotlight on you, but how you gon' act?
Hey, I remember sleeping with my ribs touched. I remember sleeping with my ribs touched. Now I get it to go. Now I get it to go. Now I get it to go.
Ain't it crazy how them tables turn? You can fold or you can stand firm. I'm a real one, so I ain't concerned. I'm fully built for this life. I think I earned all my stripes. I don't believe all the hype. Get back on my feet and get right. Watch you work, watch him hate, watch him lurk. Can't relate, watch you skirt. Out the mud, out the dirt, above the waters, in the murks, out the gate, on site. Red breed, red tight, set the bar, take flight. Yeah, I've been grinding since a young and they told me my timing was coming. I've been hustling with no fun and forget all the fame, get the money. I'm out in LA where it's sunny. I've been eating since a young and since we ain't have food in our tummy. The life we was living ain't funny, but you cannot take nothing from me. Put that on my mama, my daughter, my cousin, my brother, I'll show you. Way better than I can tell you. The type of dreams that they sell you. That's why I learned from my failures. Don't do the handouts or the favors. Told my brother I'ma get this paper. Was left behind, I'll see it later. To keep it real, you don't need to wait up. Lay it out on the line, ain't no looking back. Giving my all with no strings attached. Can't roll no bottom, roll through the cracks. Spotlight on you, but how you gon' act?
Hey, I remember sleeping with my ribs touched. I remember sleeping with my ribs touched. Now I get it to go. 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 Hey, I remember sleeping with my ribs touched. I remember sleeping with my ribs touched. Now I get it to go. 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 I remember sleeping with my ribs touched. Now I get it to go. Now I get it to go.
Flag on the play.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a flag on the play.
Yeah, yeah.
Flag on the play.
Hold up.
That's a flag on the play. Let's go.
Touchdown, I just scored a whole bucket. I just dropped the bag on the tag, ain't nothing. Make 'em throw a flag when I pass, come through stunning. Call me tired, girl, and hit the hole, then I'm running. Get money, you ain't tryna get that second flag on the play. Hating from the sideline, a flag on the play. Like Julio with them Falcons, I just made a play. In the red zone, going strong, watch me shake and bake.
Let's go.
I just took off with that rock, just like Tyreek Hill. I just count 100 racks, that's a whole field. He don't want no championship, get him out of here. I just got to say, like I run up in the backfield. I just got to say, like I ran up on a quarterback. Shake and bake, make a play just like a quarterback. We ain't worrying about no formers, we ain't staying there. Running off the block, yeah, I'm something like a lineback. I got juice like a Fanta, how you like it?
How you like it?
I'm on purple, I'm on yellow like a Viking.
Like a Viking.
All these plays that I'm catching, I done gone crazy. I do my thing, 6 range just like Tom Brady. Touchdown, I just scored a whole bucket. I just dropped the bag on the tag, ain't nothing. Make 'em throw a flag when I pass, come through stunning. Call me tired, girl, and hit the hole, then I'm running. Get money, you ain't tryna get that second flag on the play. Hating from the sideline, a flag on the play. Like Julio with them Falcons, I just made a play. In the red zone, going strong, watch me shake and bake.
Let's go.
I'm in the field like a Panther, I done up the standards, like Michael V.
We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. This crowd here fired up for football as a moment ago their Titans were introduced. This should be a good one as the Titans get set to match up with the Chicago Bears.
For Chicago.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. The ball carrier.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to the huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 29, Allen. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the gun, it's Allen. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Incomplete.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there at the moment the ball gets to the receiver. And he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Buster Screen. And the return will stop right around the 25. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Vic Beasley able to record his 5th sack of the season. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people.
Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again to Henry. He'll get 3 up to midfield. Derrick Henry.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
3rd and 7. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. From midfield, here's Allen. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This is taken around the 12. 35 yards that time on the punt, and the Bears take over.
First and 10.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And he's going to score. It's a Titans touchdown.
Touchdown, Titans.
Coaches preach all the time about opportunities and taking advantage of them, and he did exactly that. I used to have a coach tell us all the time, a lost opportunity is never regained. Well, no regrets here. He picked that one off and took it to the house.
Now Steven Gostkowski on for the extra point. And this is good. Our score, 7-0 Tennessee.
Makes the score Titans 7, Bears nothing.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
On the return, the Bears take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively.
Second and 6.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's a run for Freeman. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
38-yard line.
38-yard line, 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And Graham's got it, complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Jimmy Graham.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep, Adoree Jackson. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Titans 7, Bears nothing.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. After the penalty, it's Henry. The former Giant, Prince Amukamara, on the stop.
The ball carrier.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, got to make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Yard line.
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. On play action, Allen. He's going deep for Brown. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. The connection made. It's Graham. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
I absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
The tackle is made by Adoree Jackson.
A gain of a yard.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9. From the gun, Bridgewater. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
To Jimmy Graham.
3rd catch of this 1st half for him, and this one is a 1st down. They'll run here with Freeman. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Second and 10. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
4th down now as the Titans defense holds up in coverage. Problems on 3rd down so far in this 1st half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
7.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Allen. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a gain of 7. First down, Tennessee.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46.
Henry, the ball carrier.
In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5 now. Allen. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 44-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
10 at the 44-yard line.
Throwing on first down is Allen. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And down to the 27-yard line. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Allen off the play fake. Buying time to his left. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Jeff Swain, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Titans are able to extend their lead.
And that was a beautiful ball right there as he waited for his tight end to come uncovered in the end zone to give him points for patience as well. Delivered it right where it needed to be for 6 points.
Gostkowski the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that could alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And the defense obviously expecting run as well, as they're going to shut that one down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
And it brings up 3rd down.
So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. Taken in the end zone, and he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. On the draw, this will be Freeman. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Bridgewater to throw it. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Intended for Taylor.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it'll be Titan football.
1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line.
That's the reason we ball for. Circle round twice for the encore. If you know, you know.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Now a handoff to Henry. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
22, Derrick Henry, the ball carrier. The tackle made at the 44-yard line. Brings up 2nd down.
They'll run it again with Henry. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
And 3.
That's out to the left and complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
3-yard line.
A toss right to Henry. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
He was taken down by...
No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
No gain on the play.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
This will be caught by Brown. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
How about a guy proving his worth in different ways? Had the big play in the run game the play before. This time, they go right back to him in the passing game, and he comes through with yet another big play.
And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. A.J. Brown, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead. Always important to get the first score in the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And they'll watch this one fall in the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Bridgewater. He's got Freeman here. It's complete. No yardage. Just speak of whatsoever. Leads to a 3rd down.
Behind the line of scrimmage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. A first throw for the backup Trubisky. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. It's Jeffrey Simmons that time who got in to record the sack.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7-0 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
He can run for it, and he will. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
21-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Back now in Nashville, it's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. To throw again on second down. Trubisky. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. The Bears on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Brings up 4th down.
Trubisky and the troops staying out there. They will go for it. They're going on 4th down. It's Trubisky. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
At the 35-yard line.
Derrick Henry. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory, and as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, it's hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
28 yards. 1st down, Tennessee. Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. Derrick Henry. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the interception by the Titans D leads to a touchdown. Extra point try for Gostkowski. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And he returns this to the 22.
Darrell Patterson on the return. The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down.
1st down, Chicago.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
On the tackle. No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 30.
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He was trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that will be incomplete.
What we've seen so far in this game, they're not going to allow a big shot over the top. You can have whatever you want underneath. They'll give you that, but they're not going to let you beat them deep.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Vic Beasley. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Hines able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Ball carrier.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one. As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it, and oftentimes knock it away.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25.
25-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
At the 26-yard line.
Now it's Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Blake Cashman on the tackle.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. From the 25, here's 2nd and 6. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there, 1st down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
Fights loose. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
He will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion. 2 1st downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. This is Henry. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory.
Ball carrier.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
49-yard line.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
A gain of 4 brings up 3rd and 4.